Hi everyone and welcome back to my bench. Today we have a different setup than the usual overhead because we have such a large item. In fact, we have the KRUPS XP320 if I'm not mistaken. That doesn't work. It was given to me by a friend to check out and I started checking it out without the hope of making video, but I thought it might be interesting. So here we are. The machine was working and it was put in storage as is, and the complaint is that after it was taken from storage it no longer works, so it no longer makes coffee. Now since it's set in storage, I was thinking that maybe we have a mechanical fault where some of the pumps or the channels got blocked because of some water and some corrosion. But upon some inspection that I did, I noticed that we have an issue with the power button here on the right. So from my understanding, this should be a button that we should be able to toggle. So, and if you see when I press it, it doesn't really turn on. And when I plugged it in, currently it's unplugged. When I plugged it in, there were no lights or any indication that there is power going into the machine. So I'm gonna mount the camera up here and we're gonna start to disassemble the machine from the bottom and see what we find. And before we start the repair, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Altium 365. Altium 365 revolutionized how we design and collaborate, making it easier and faster to deliver great products. With powerful data management and version control, you can securely store all your design's data and track changes effortlessly. Need components? Altium 365's library management gives you access to millions of parts and the latest supply chain data in one place. Plus, collaborating with your team is seamless with digital design reviews and real-time feedback. Streamline your project with supply chain management, offering real-time data on parts availability, pricing, and risk management, so your designs are always manufacturable. Whether you're looking to simplify complex product development processes or collaborate seamlessly with your team, Altium 365 has got you covered. To experience the incredible benefits of Altium 365, sign up for the free trial using the link in the video description. Okay, so there are 6 screws here on the bottom plate and 2 that are hidden within this cavity here. I'm gonna start by removing these 6 and we'll see if we can remove the bottom cover so we can gain access to the switch. Okay, so it seems that I'll need to undo these 2 as well. Okay, so one of those seems to have been stripped, but it's out now. Let's see. Okay, almost out. Let's see what we're gonna get inside. Okay, so 2 things. First of all, let's check the switch because it's not on the main wiring, so it might be just a push button. Let's see. I have my So I have my meter in continuity, and if I press the button, we see that the button works. What I'm seeing else is this residue within the receptor here. So this probably gets the water and pumps it in, and some sort of board here where the power goes in. So next step is to take out that board. Now what I just noticed is that this front lip here is slightly open, so someone must have been trying to get into this thing. We'll see how far they reached. I'm trying to lift up this cover from the front. There were 2 screws on the back. We'll need to see there's probably some plastic tabs here in the back. Okay, so I undo the 4 screws here on the corner, and also I remove the valve and the cable hold on. So in theory this should now be able to come out on this side, and we can see what's going on. Okay, I'll probably need to undo some of the hoses. I'll undo this one first because it prevents me from taking it out. Okay, so apparently it will need more than that. And it's out. Now let's take out the board from the housing and inspect it further. Okay, so here is the board. This is where the incoming supply comes, and it goes through this relay that then turns it on and outputs it from here. Additionally, the input is brought through this capacitor over this rectifier and some smoothing and stabilization here to provide power for the control chip. Unfortunately, I'm not able to identify the numbers on that because there is a coating on the board, probably in effect to protect it from moisture. But we can see that 2 of the pins here control the relay, and there is some capacitors on that to stabilize the voltage. And I didn't do any measurements because everything looks okay. The capacitors look okay, but a common fault here is that these capacitors fail. So I'm gonna replace them anyway because I'm not able to see anything else that might be wrong on the board. So the smaller one is this one, so that's 25 volts, 100 microfarads, and the larger one is 25 volts, 470 microfarads. However, I don't have an exact replacement, so I'm gonna use a larger one, 25 volts, 680 microfarads. Theory goes that it should be okay because the problem is if it's not holding enough voltage to keep the relay stable. Hopefully a larger one will do the same without causing any other issues in the circuit. Let's try it out. Okay, so I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of flux to the board and some fresh solder. Okay, so to remove it, I'm gonna hold it from the back and try to pull on the legs. Okay, so here is that one out. Now let's do the same on the other one. And that's the other one out. And you could see here that there is something that was leaking out of the capacitor on the bottom, or it might be some glue. Anyway, we're gonna replace them. Let's clean up the pads. Okay, one of those holes seems a bit stubborn, but I think we can manage it. Keep in mind that the negative goes to the painted area, so positive goes here and negative goes there. Okay. add a bit of fresh solder. And let's do the same to the other one. So negative with the painted area. And we can cut out the excess. Okay, so we have new capacitors. Now let's install the board and wire it up so we can test it out. Okay, so we don't really have this connected all the way through. I'm gonna plug it to power and I'm gonna touch these two wires because they are the ones that are connected to the switch. So power comes in now, so we should have power. And okay, and we seem to have water and we seem to have the light coming in here. Let me show you that, and I'm gonna unplug this before we actually create some sort of a short. Okay, so that's a good sign. Now let's clean up the hoses and assemble everything back up. Okay, so I have the machine assembled just enough so that I can test. I do have some water inside, so let's plug it in. And okay, we have power, that's good. Now, I don't even know how to operate it, so let's try it out. Okay, I was hoping I'm gonna see some water. So far, there's definitely water inside. I'm getting steam, but I'm not getting any water. Yeah, so it appears that I'm not getting any water through the pump coming in through these splitters, so it goes to the funnel. In any case, I'll need to disassemble this again. I'm probably gonna clean the pump and all the hoses and everything thoroughly because there might be some blockage because of the crystallization that we saw, but I'm gonna end the video right here. Our goal was to get this electrically fixed, which we did. It was 2 broken capacitors, as almost always. So I hope that you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers!